What's up, folks? We are back with another Sidereal guide video. This time we're going to do it for Echidna. So, Echidna is 2 gates, and we're going to just start with gate 1, obviously. And you're going to be using the Sidereal 6 different times. It's kind of a lot, but it's not too bad. We'll see when we hop right in. So, at the very start of the fight, you walk up, you kill a bunch of mobs. There's a mob on the top left, mob on the bottom right. As soon as both of those mobs die, you'll see the bar fill up. You're going to use the Sidereal. Control Z. So when you can use right now, a Xena, you just let it rip. So you'll see we kill this mob. Boom, we get enough energy. And then I just stand behind him here and let it rip. Because it's really huge. It'll kill, any mobs that are still alive as well. So that's one. Done. The next time you're going to do it is when you're on your way to, this final area of the fight and you first walk up, there's a stagger check. If your damage isn't insanely high in this group and you guys just push kind of at a normal pace, you should get Sidereal about the time you stagger him here. So you'll see we just walked up, group's doing the stagger check. And I think it gives a bubble, so as long as you're at 2 bubbles, it'll fill. We'll see in 1 second to be certain. So boom, it even gives more than a bubble. So as soon as you get that, let it rip. If your damage is high and you do not have it right away, that's okay. Just use it as long as you get it before the first mechanic with the lines, the black and the red lines where you got to, stand on the proper color. Just anytime before that, use it and you're good to go. Because once you finish that mech, you'll get a huge burst of side. So that's the first 2 times using it just for damage. The third time you're going to use it is to kill some ads. So you'll see around 105 health bars. There's going to be this pop-up message right here. Armin shows up. And you'll notice on your mini-map, these little red mobs, you can see the arrows because they're off to the side right now. If you're looking at my mini-map here. These little indicators. You have to use your side, and then you have to use the follow-up. So I guess I should mention this real quick. In Echidna, the sides, there's like a 2-part version of it. So to cast a side, you need 3 little of these sections in order to cast the side. But then you can do a follow-up of that same Sidereal skill for 1 extra bubble. So we'll see that here. If you, for some reason, your damage is a crazy, insane group, I only saw it 1 time, and they pumped so fast they didn't have side here, wait for all these mobs to get close, and then you can use Control X in order to kill them on the first cast. But right here, I just wait, maybe 5-10 seconds. I'm trying to let the red mobs get onto the map. So I'm waiting a little bit till they get close, and then I can pretty much cast it anytime now. Because the first one can kill them, like you'll see when I cast this thing, it'll kill them. But if not, they're way over here, and this AoE first cast of the side doesn't kill them. Then you use the follow-up. So do you see that here? She attacks, and then you can see this lit up for a second. I used it immediately, but you use 1 extra bubble, and she rains down these arrows from the sky, which is really good at killing. You'll see these arrows coming down. So that'll kill any of the red mobs that weren't close for the first cast. So that's the 3rd time. So the 4th time you're going to use the Sidereal is like around 50 something bars. It just depends, really. It's after you do the urn mechanic. Party 2 goes over and does the stagger, and they call out the red or the black urn. You guys destroy it. You're kiting the boss around with the tether. Then you're going to see him do this gesture, and he's going to get a shield. So you'll see he puts his hand out like this, stops moving, and he gets this shield. You're going to use the same Sidereal. You just use Control X, and her specialty is that it does heavy damage to skills. So this is like a big burst window where you have to kill the shield. People use Atros and Darks and all their burst on Party 1. And you're going to want to use both casts. So I did the first one, and then as soon as it's up, I'm going to use the second cast as well. Really helps shred through the shield. Here it goes. Arrows raining down from above, and we did it. So that's the 4th time, or the 5th time. So really the last time you're going to use the side here is in this final phase. And if I've seen people get 2 casts before, but the damage was low, we had some people dead, you're really just going to get 1 more cast of it. And you're going to want to use just Control Z for pure damage here. You can use it at any time that you think it's going to hit. It really doesn't matter. The only small added benefit is if you wait till you have 4 bubbles to do the follow-up, you can get a very, very small DPS window where it freezes the boss. But honestly, it's like a couple seconds. It's not even that big of a deal. But if you want to try and do it, you see under the boss's health bar right now, this little debuff, this blue and purple one here, you have to keep an eye out for that because this will toggle on and off the boss periodically. And this gives him freeze immunity. So if you want to do the whole follow-up freeze the boss, you have to make sure that that is not there. So anyway, you'll see I cast it, I don't even wait. Just pick an attack, let it rip. It's just for pure damage. And you can see right now, I can't use Control Z. It's not glowing because we don't quite have a full bubble. So I'm waiting. You have, I think, about 10 seconds. This purple goes down until you can cast the follow-up of the Sidereal skill. So you'll see I'm just waiting and I'm going to spam press it. I don't even care about this just to get the damage off, even if he's not frozen. He would not get frozen because this debuff is on him right now. So I just casted it. It disappeared right as the freeze takes effect, which is just got lucky there. I wasn't even trying to do it. But you'll see he just got frozen and it lasts for, I don't know, 3 seconds maybe. Doesn't matter. Ear damage. But that's gate 1. Not too shabby. If you have questions, just holler. So gate 2, you're going to use it 5 to 6 times. And this is a normal mode version of the fight, by the way. But in hard mode, both for gate 1, there's really no difference. The only difference for hard mode in gate 2 is there's a 0 bar mechanic, which you'll use 1 extra Sidereal skill. But we can talk about that at the end of the video. This is for normal mode, just want to clarify. But there really is no difference. So this is the last mirror counter. You get Sidereal energy burst, and then you're just going to use 1 cast of Azina Control Z. So Control Z just for pure damage. Use it once. Do not use the follow-up. So that's all you're doing here after the first mechanic with all the mirrors where you're countering. The second time you're going to use it is on the big stagger check that you're doing here. You're going to use Thar, Control C, and you're going to time it with the clash. So you can see right now, someone just clashed, and you might not be able to see very well, but there's 18 seconds left on this buff. When it gets to, I'd say 17, or when it just hits 16, you just want to space bar, dash closer to the boss, and then use Thar, Control C. So we're at 18 seconds, I'll hit play, 17, 16, I run up, and I use Thar. There's still 16 seconds on the clock as I'm casting this. And you'll see why the timing is important. So I just used it while the clash is still going on, right? Watch the Sidereal energy. As soon as they finish clash, boom, you get 2 full bars. That's what you're doing with this Thar method, is you're making sure you don't over cap on your Sidereal meter. So nothing's wasted. So we use Thar to finish off the stagger right before the clash ends. That way you have a bunch of meter going into the final phase. All right, that's the second time. So the third time now, it's going to be Thar again, and that's for the first clash up top. When you're doing these snakes, if both are alive, you have to have 2 people clash. But you can use Thar as a Sidereal skill in place of the clash. So you'll see you go up top, and the positioning, it's pretty generous, but you'll see where he does it. I just like to be anywhere like on this side of the blue. And as soon as it pops up, just aim your cursor in this direction and cast it. So circle pops up. I'm on the right side over here and I just let it rip. You cast Thar. He shows up, does the clash for you, lets everybody crank so you guys can kill this first snake fast on the first cycle. That's it. Easy. In a perfect world, this is kind of how the flow of the fight goes, by the way. Some things can change a little bit, but this is kind of the best case scenario of how this works. So the next time you're going to use Sidereal is when she does the flammable wall thing. You can see the skins are flammable. Perhaps we could use this against the snake. There's this pop-up. So she'll do this little animation. You have to be careful. This animation is used for several skills, so just wait a second. A lot of times she does that counter pattern with the safe zones too. So just give it a second, make sure it's the flammable wall thing. Then you're going to cast Infernia, which is Control X. What this does is give you a massive DPS window, and it prevents you from having to do the mech where you run to the sides of the map, throw the flame grenade at like this red glowing wall here, and dodge the big snakes. So you just Infernia burns everything, and you just pump. It's really quick. That is literally all the Sidereal skills that you have to do. You'll normally get it one more time if like an average damage group, if you're not going crazy with damage. And then I suggest you just save it. It's going to be full. You're going to get the urge to use it. But unless you can use it, guarantee it's going to hit, guarantee it's going to kill and end the fight, hold it. Because she can do, it's the same fight. She can do the flammable wall mech again. And you definitely just want to have Infernia in case. So you'll see she does it again. So you can Infernia one more time, get a nice DPS window to finish off the fight. Sometimes people will die in that snake mechanic because they just don't have a lot of experience with it. So I suggest you just save Infernia. The 0 bar mech, occurred to me I should have got footage for this too, but I'll just tell you real quick. All that is you're going to use one more Sidereal skill, Control Z, for pure damage. The 0 bar mech, people get grabbed, you have to counter the mirrors. Every time you complete the mirror counter mech, she gets a debuff that increases the damage she takes. So I would wait for 2 cycles of the mirror mechanic and then use the Sidereal skill. Control Z, Xena, just for pure damage. If you, like right at the end here when we had this full meter, and let's say she doesn't do Ren again, and my Sidereal skills are full going into the 0 bar mech, you can cast a Xena immediately because doing the mirror mech 2 times will give you Sidereal meter to cast it again. So let's say, she's at 0 bars right now, doesn't do Ren, we go right into it. As soon as we load in, you can just use a Xena for a little extra damage because you'll get it back after the 2 counters, the 2 mirror mechs. All right, easy. That's Echidna Sides. If you guys have any questions on it, feel free to come by the stream. You know the deal. Twitch TV Nutris. I appreciate you watching. I hope you have a great day.